We're here. This is the place.
Finally, I was getting tired of Takio's rambling.
Shut up, Nikolai, and get your gear on.
In June of 2009, Call of Duty World at War players were introduced to Numa, the third map in the Zombies franchise. Set in the dense swamps of a Japanese outpost during World War II, Numa brought with it several new gameplay mechanics that set it apart from its predecessors. Unlike the cramped interiors of Nacht and Verrückt, this map featured for the first time a playable outdoor area, complete with multiple buildings, traps, and a dynamic environment that encouraged players to explore. One of the key elements that made Numa stand out was its layout. The map is divided into 4 main areas surrounding a central hut. Each of these areas, the doctor's quarters, fishing hut, storage, and comm room, all contain a random perk machine, meaning that each playthrough offers a slightly different experience. This randomness added a layer of strategy and replayability, as players need to adapt to whatever perks are available to them. And this amount of replayability, although small, managed to entertain players for quite some time. Numa also introduced one of the most iconic elements of zombies, max ammo rounds, or in this case, hellhounds. These terrifying flaming dogs would spawn every few rounds, forcing players to change up their tactics on the fly. The hellhound rounds added a new level of tension and kept players on their toes, and almost every map going forward has a quote-unquote dog round, whether it be dogs, spiders, parasites, and even meatballs. I don't really know what they were going for there. However, what truly set Numa apart was the introduction of the 4 main characters: Tank Dempsey, Nikolai Belinsky, Takeo Masaki, and Edward Richthofen. Up until this point, the Zombies experience had been largely faceless, with players controlling nameless soldiers. But Numa gave us characters with distinct personalities and backstories. The banter between these characters as they fought off waves of the undead added a new layer of depth to the game, and their storylines would become a central focus of the Zombies mode for years to come. From a narrative perspective, Numa was also significant for introducing the zombie storyline. The map contained hidden radios and Easter eggs that hinted at the broader narrative, involving Group 935, Element 115, and the experiments that led to the zombie outbreak. For the first time, players had more than just gameplay to focus on. There was a story. The gameplay innovations, combined with the expanding narrative, made Numa a hit amongst players. It balanced challenge and exploration in a way that was completely new to the Zombies mode, and it set the stage for more complex maps that would follow in its footsteps. Two years after its original release, Numa made its return in Call of Duty Black Ops as part of the Resurrection DLC. This DLC pack was a celebration of the Zombies mode, bringing back the 4 World at War maps with updated graphics and gameplay mechanics. For most players, it was their first introduction to Numa, as Black Ops had brought in a whole new generation of fans, including myself. The Black Ops version of Numa was a faithful remaster, keeping the core elements of the map intact while enhancing the visuals and adding new features. The updated graphics gave the swamp more of a menacing and atmospheric feel, with improved lighting and textures that made the map feel more immersive. The eerie fog that rolled through the swamp and the enhanced sound design made the experience even more terrifying. At least it did for me when I was a kid. But it wasn't just the visuals that got an upgrade. Black Ops also introduced new weapons into the mix, including the fan favorite ray gun. This powerful wonder weapon could be obtained from the box, giving players even more tools to survive the endless waves of the Japanese facility. In addition to the new weapons, the remastered version also incorporated the new Black Ops 1 perk system, with updated quick revive that would actually revive you, jug that wouldn't get taken away by the Wunderwaffe, and mule kick, which allowed you to have a third gun. This allowed players to benefit from the updated list of perks while in Numa. Another significant change in the Black Ops version was the addition of the Wunderwaffe buff. In the original World at War version, the Wunderwaffe was powerful, but it had its limits. It could only chain up to 10 zombies per shot and could take away your jug if you weren't careful. But in Black Ops, this was changed. It still chained 10 zombies per shot, but it no longer took away your jug, making it an even more powerful weapon. This small change had a big impact on the high round strategies, as players could now clear hordes safely. However, in Black Ops 1, the zombie spawn rates and per round counts were changed drastically. This change made gameplay more intense and fast-paced, with zombies spawning in larger waves and more frequently as rounds progressed. The increase in zombie numbers per round in Black Ops 1 required players to adopt different strategies, making the experience more challenging and rewarding compared to World at War's more, interesting pacing. The Black Ops Remaster also introduced new players to the origins of their beloved characters. The dialogue was mostly unchanged, but it was to a much higher quality, tying the map more closely to the overarching zombie story that had expanded since World at War. While the Black Ops version of Numa didn't radically change the formula, it served as a bridge between the old and the new, and it preserved the core experience that made the map so popular, while updating it for a new generation of players and consoles in some cases. The remaster was well received by fans, and it cemented Numa as a classic zombies map. Fast forward to 2017, and Numa returned once again, this time in the Zombies Chronicles DLC for Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Zombies Chronicles was a massive content drop that reimagined 8 classic Zombies maps, bringing them into the next generation with fully overhauled graphics, gameplay mechanics, and features. For many, this was the definitive version of Numa, blending nostalgia with modern advancements. Black Ops 3 introduced new gameplay elements that fundamentally altered the way that players approached Numa. One of the biggest additions was the Gobblegum system. Gobblegums were a special consumable item that could give players a variety of buffs, from a little bit of extra points to getting every single perk on a given map. This added a new layer of strategy, as players could tailor their loadouts to suit playstyle and adapt to challenges of the map, or completely break the game. In addition to Gobblegums, Zombies Chronicles brought a bunch of new Black Ops 3 guns to Numa. This meant that players had access to a wider range of firearms, including fan favorites like the KN-44 and the Reagan Mark II. And with the addition of Gobblegums, players could finally upgrade their weapons on the map. Although the Pack-a-Punch camo is a bit drab, it introduced a whole new experience and technically unlimited damage with the addition of alternate ammo types, which you could also get with Gobblegums. Gums really changed how the map was played in a major way, causing loads of different strategies to emerge and loads of people getting to the top of the leaderboards. However, not all fans were so thrilled with the changes. Some criticized the Zombies Chronicle version of losing some of the original's gritty and dark aesthetic. The updated visuals, while impressive, gave the map a more cleaner, more polished look that some felt clashed with the gritty and eerie atmosphere of the original. While Zombies Chronicles was undeniably a technical advancement, it sparked some debate amongst the community on whether the map had lost some of its original charm in the process. Despite these criticisms, Zombies Chronicles Numa was a huge success. For many players, it offered the perfect blend of nostalgia and modern gameplay. The map's core elements remained intact, but the new features like Gobblegums and expanded weaponry made it more accessible and engaging for newer and younger players. It was a fresh way to experience a classic, and it helped introduce a new generation of fans to the iconic map. Ultimately, it demonstrated how the Zombies mode could evolve while still honoring its roots. Numa's journey didn't end with Zombie Chronicles, however. The map made its way to Call of Duty Mobile of all places, marking another milestone in its evolution. I only played this a few times and I could barely find any footage, so I'm going to link the footage that I'm showing right now down in the description. Call of Duty Mobile brought the Zombies experience to a new platform, and Numa was among the first few maps to be adapted for mobile play. Despite the limitations of mobile hardware, the core essence of Numa remained intact, to my knowledge. While the map was scaled down a bit to fit the mobile experience, the developers did a really good job at retaining the atmosphere and gameplay mechanics. The perk locations, traps, and overall layout were faithfully recreated, offering a surprisingly authentic experience for mobile players. However, adjustments were made to the gameplay to make it more suited for touch controls, along with shorter play sessions. For example, the difficulty curve was slightly tweaked and the pacing was sped up to accommodate for the mobile format. In Call of Duty Mobile, Numa became a gateway for casual players to experience the Zombies mode. even on the go. It also featured some exclusive content like new challenges and rewards, giving mobile players a unique take on the classic map. The fact that Numa could transition so seamlessly to a different platform is a testament to its enduring design. The most recent reimagining of Numa came in Call of Duty Vanguard. And yes, I know it's Vanguard, but we have to talk about it. Released in 2021, Vanguard sought to bring the zombies mode into the modern era, with a new storyline, updated mechanics, and even an Easter egg. But this time, it wasn't just a remaster, it was a complete reimagining. Vanguard's version of Numa expanded on the original map in significant ways. New areas were added, trenches, an excavation site, along with additional outbuildings that provided more routes for players to explore. These areas weren't just cosmetic though, they added new layers of strategy and story, as players now had to consider more choke points and potential ambush locations. In addition to the expanded layout, Vanguard introduced new objectives and gameplay mechanics. For instance, the map included its own narrative-driven Easter egg that tied into Vanguard's story. Players could complete objectives that would advance the story, giving the map a more structured, almost campaign-like feel. This was a departure from the traditional round-based gameplay that Numa was known for, and it sparked a lot of negative reactions in the community. Whether you loved or hated Vanguard, there's no denying that it represents the ongoing evolution of the zombies mode. By pushing boundaries and experimenting with new gameplay styles, it showed that even the oldest maps can still surprise us and challenge players in unexpected and sometimes horrible ways. Over the years, Numa has become more than just a map. It's a symbol of the mode's evolution. From its humble beginnings at World at War to its modern reimaginings in Vanguard, Numa has grown alongside the franchise, adapting to new technologies, gameplay mechanics, and players' expectations. Yet through all those changes, it has remained a beloved part of the zombies experience. From the swampy outposts of World at War to the reimagined battlegrounds of Vanguard, Numa has stood the test of time. It's a map that continues to challenge players no matter how many times it gets reimagined, and as the zombies mode continues to evolve, one thing is certain: Numa will always have a place in Call of Duty's history. So what do you guys think about Numa? What version is your favorite and why? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more content. Hey guys, Hancey here, just for a quick little outro. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video in its entirety if you did, and I would appreciate it so much if you shared this video with a friend, because I really think this is the best video I've made so far. And if a lot of people like it and a lot of people see it, it'll give me a lot more motivation to do these more professional, long-form video essay type videos. And I would love doing them. They're so fun. It was a blast to make. So that's about it. Thank you guys so much. I'm kind of coming back to the zombie scene, a little slow, a little rocky, but that's kind of the state of the community right now. So I'm gonna just keep posting videos. I'm gonna see how this goes. I thank you guys so much for your continuous support. I'm gonna try to return to a more healthy upload schedule. So yeah, thank you guys so much.